good, YouTube? It's your boy P Money. So the Blazers get a much-needed victory, 127-116, over the Sacramento Kings, who are visiting tonight in the Moda Center. And the Blazers were led by these four men that you see on the screen right now. Hassan Whiteside almost fucked around and got himself a triple-double tonight. He was big time. CJ McCollum was all the way in his bag and led all scorers for 33 points tonight. But the Kings were definitely game for much of this game, and it was really back and forth. In that first quarter, the Kings were led by Buddy Hield, who ended up shooting 13 times, but he got 14 points on 6 of 13 from the field, goes 2 of 4 from 3, had 3 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. And then Richuan Holmes, he was money all night, but in the first quarter, he finished with 9 points on 4 of 4 from the field and had 3 rebounds. But he had that nice little floater type shot right around the basket, around about like 12, 15 feet. And he just kept hitting that all night. And the Kings ended up going on a 10-2 run towards the end of the first quarter to go up 35-30 after one. They made 4 threes, had 8 assists, grabbed 12 rebounds, had 54% from the field, 67% from 3. They had 1 made free throw at the time out of 4, and only 1 turnover. So they were cooking. They were really cooking in that first quarter. But the Blazers, they were right there too, led by Whiteside's 9 points on 4 of 4 from the field. He pulled down 7 rebounds in that first quarter. So he was already damn near with the double-double after one. Melo, he was shooting really efficiently. He went for 8 points on 4 of 6 from the field and had himself a block on Hield. And then CJ McCollum, he went for 7 points on 3 of 4 from the field, went 1 of 3 from 3, had a rebound, assist, and at the time, a career high time, 3 blocks. And they were all on Buddy Hield, just him guessing right and getting his hands on the ball that when Buddy Hield was trying to go up for shots. So general salute to CJ McCollum for his defense. The Blazers, they shoot 58% from the field, and they only have 1 made 3, and 1 made free throw out of 2. They had 9 assists, 12 rebounds, and a turnover. In the second quarter, a lot more of the same, except for Hield. He kind of cooled down. He went for 17 points on 7 of 17 from the field, goes 3 of 8 from 3, and 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. And Richuan Holmes hit his only basket of that quarter to finish up with 11 points and had 6 rebounds. But it was guys like Hield, Ariza, and Harrell that were keeping them in the game, and they all ended up having 8 points apiece at halftime. They ended up shooting 50% from the field. They go 48% from 3, and they also had 21 bench points at the time, with 10 made threes, 13 assists, and 23 rebounds. For the Blazers, it was CJ McCollum on fire. He went for 23 points on 10 of 13 from the field, goes 3 of 6 from 3, had 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and 4 blocks. So he ended up having his career high in blocks. Whiteside had a double-double after half. He went for 14 points on 6 of 7 from the field, goes 10 rebounds, had 3 assists, and 2 blocks. So he was doing a little bit of everything in the first half. Melo didn't play as much in that second quarter, and Bays ended up actually playing well in that first half, and he finished with 10 points on 5 of 9 from the field, goes for 3 rebounds, and had a block, which was a chase down block on, I want to say it was either Hield, but yeah, I think it was Hield. It was just a pretty nasty play. Dame Lillard, he only ended up having 6 shots at half, He had 7 points on 2 of 6 from the field. Goes 1 of 2 from 3. Had 2 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 turnovers. And it just was the CJ McCollum show, really, in that first half. And then got a guy like Bazemore coming off the bench, but that was 10 big points. And Hood definitely needs to get more shots. It doesn't seem like he gets a lot of plays drawn up for him. And a lot of his shots are all great shots, either in the corner, at the top of the key, a little bit to the left and to the right of the key. So he's getting a lot of open looks from 3. And at the time, he had 3 points on 1 of 2 from the field, and he was 1 of 2 from 3. But he did have 2 rebounds and 2 assists. So defensively, he was good, and then he also was moving the ball really well and crashing the boards. The Blazers ended up shooting 60% from the field, and they go 46% from 3. They only have 4 made free throws in that first half, but they do have 16 assists. Oh no, those stats I was talking about weren't Bazemore's, those were Melo's. He had 10 points, 5 of 9 from the field, 3 rebounds, and a block. But Baze was playing well. He ended up having 5 points at halftime, and those were all in the second quarter. But at the time, the Blazers only have 9 bench points, but they have 23 rebounds. Oh no, they had 6 made threes, so they had 4 made free throws and 6 made threes. And then Blazers ended up being up only by 2 at halftime, 66-64. Third quarter, a lot more of the same, man. Back and forth. Both teams were shooting really well. Kings put up 31 points in that quarter, led by Richuan Holmes and that little floater that he was having. It was just money all night. Hield fell all the way off in the second half, but in the third quarter especially, he really didn't do too much. Hield hit a couple of threes, but the Blazers ended up going up 100-95 in the fourth quarter, or leading up to the fourth quarter. But the Kings in that fourth, they pretty much wear down. The only guy that was really consistent was Holmes, who ended up finishing with a team high 28 points on 11 of 14 from the field. He goes for 10 rebounds, had a steal and a turnover. Hield finished up with 23 points on a terrible 8 of 24 from the field. Goes a terrible 3 of 12 from three-point land. Had 7 rebounds, 7 assists, turnover, and 2 steals. So while he wasn't shooting well, he did facilitate pretty well because he had the ball a lot in his hands because Bogdanovich was hurt. And he ended up not playing in this game. Hield finished up with 17 points on 7 of 15 from the field. Goes 3 of 7 from 3. Had 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 turnovers, a steal, and 2 blocks. So we had a pretty solid game. It's just no one else really besides Holmes, Hield, and Hield really did too much. I mean, they had Farrell off the bench. I think he finished up with 13 points, but most of his damage was done in that second quarter. And he came in and just was busting Anthony Simons out from 3. He was just getting whatever he wanted on Anthony. To end the game, like I was saying, 4 to 5 Blazers starters scored 20 points or more, with Melo finishing up with 20 points on 8 of 16 from the field. Those 2 of 4 from 3, had 5 rebounds, a turnover, and a block. And he was all up in his bag tonight. Hit 2 threes, had a nice little fadeaway jumper over, I want to say that it was over Holmes at the time. He was just doing whatever he wanted to get into his spots, and it was tough for people to stop Melo tonight. So general salute to Melo once again, getting those, putting up dubs on the Kings. And I understand people will say that it was the Kings, this, that, and the third, but the Kings have been playing really well lately. And to have 4 of your 5 starters get 20 on them is still a pretty, you can't deny that. It was just good games from everyone. Whiteside, he ended up finishing with a big game tonight. Had 22 points on an efficient 8 of 10 from the field. Goes for 16 rebounds. Finishes up with 7 assists, only 2 turnovers, and had 3 blocks too. So Whiteside was doing whatever he wanted as well. And it was just great to see him being in the high post and making excellent passes to backdoor cutters like Dame. He hit one to CJ. I think he had one to did he have one to Rocky? No, he had one to Bazemore. It's just excellent passing, man. And I've noticed that Whiteside had the capability to do these types of things. He just wasn't utilized correctly in a place like Miami because they had more guys, that handled the ball more, and they didn't allow Whiteside to utilize his skill set. And it's just proven right now, man. Yes, it's the Kings, but Whiteside has been playing very well the last 3 games now. And since he came back from that injury, that hip injury really was hindering him. But he's back, and I like where he's at right now. Now, Dame finished with 24 points and only had 12 shots, but hit 7 of 12 from the field, goes 4 of 6 from 3, had 4 rebounds, 10 assists, 4 turnovers, 2 steals, and a block. And he was just money tonight. Like I said, he did only needed 12 shots, but he was out there being a true point guard. And when he needed to score, he did. And when he needed to facilitate, he did. He made a couple of mistakes, because we're still playing with a lot of rookies on the bench. But it's there's no excuses. Blazers got the win. He only had 4 turnovers. Yes, that's pretty high, but it does happen sometimes. CJ McCollum, big man, 33 points, 14 of 22 from the field, went 5 of 10 from 3, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 turnovers, a steal, and a career high 4 blocks. He was just excellent tonight. There was a couple of times where he had a couple of heat checks, but overall, man, just an excellent game from CJ. Just hitting timely baskets too when needed. Just leading the Blazers to a lights out shooting game, and ended up getting 28 assists tonight out there, 47 made baskets. The team stats for both teams, for the Kings, they go 44 of 95 for 46% from the field. They go 11 of 34 for 32% from three-point land. They go 17 of 23 for 74% from the free throw line. With their 44 made baskets, they get 26 assists. They get 44 rebounds, 13 of those offensive. They have 7 steals, 7 blocks, and 10 turnovers. So they really kept they didn't turn the ball over a lot. And that was a good thing, because like I said, they didn't have Bogdanovich, but they had Corey Joseph out there, and he's a savvy veteran that the Blazers could be using right now. That way they can slide Anthony Simons off that point guard duty, and he can be more comfortable in the role that he should be in, which is like a scoring first option. You know what I mean? Yes, he can facilitate, but being a point guard in this league is very, very tough. And he didn't have that assignment last year. And he's pretty much learning on the fly. So he's taking his lumps right now, but he looks steady out there every time, even though he's making mistakes. It doesn't look rattled. So keep working, young man, because I know you got skills, man. I know you do. And I know it's a lot to process for you right now, but it's definitely going to get better for you. But the Blazers, they shoot 47 of 84 for 86% from the, or 56% from the field. They go 16 of 32 for 50% from three-point land. Of their 47 made baskets, they get 28 assists. They get 43 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 steals, 10 blocks, and have 12 turnovers. So they take care of the ball as well. So it was just a great game from the Blazers, man. They definitely needed this tonight. They really needed a dub going into this Lakers game. You know what I'm saying? Friday night's going to be a very, very great game, I think. And if Melo, Dame, Whiteside, and CJ play like they've been, have Rodney Hood put up about 15 points, I think it's going to be a Blazers win if they can play like this. Now I know the Lakers defense is a lot tougher than the Kings, but Blazers can definitely win this game. But this is your boy Pete Money. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to all my supporters. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And I am off this.